We have the honor and absolute pleasure of welcoming my dear friend, Purdue's First Lady, Dr. Kei Hui. So if everybody could please give a virtual round of applause. Thank you and welcome,
Welcome.
welcome. So how are you?
Great. Yeah, I mean, been really blessed. Just a, busy day.
You've had a busy day. I know you were running until about 10 minutes from here. That's what it's like
Mhm.
to be the first lady and a mother and a lot of other titles that you'll be talking about. So again, thank you for joining us. As you can see, there are quite a number of people on this chat that are very interested in learning more about you. So, and we're excited to learn more about you. So why don't you share a little bit about yourself? Stephanie, if you could go back to the slides, I think
Yep.
um,
Mm.
First Lady's team
So
put some slides together
because
for you.
it's actually nighttime and I'm trying not to put everybody to sleep, so I would like to wake everybody up first with some like pretty interesting pictures could be. So pay attention. And some questions too. I would like to ask. I'm curious to know if you can please share one of your proudest moments from the past 7 days, or even like past one day or today. Um, and it could be something small, could be something big, anything you want to share. I just feel like it's important to have some, recognize some happy moments, big or small, every day,
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm,
And got to be some.
mm-hmm.
Oh my,
I love that idea.
43
Thank you.
miles. Wow.
And so, I'll be sharing the chat
Mm,
notes with you and your team so you can read through all the notes because I don't think you're going to be able to read all the notes here. I have a lot of unread
I will
messages.
try.
So please, throughout this event tonight, if you'd like to if you'd like to chat, put your story in the chat.
Mhm.
That would be great. I know her team would very much appreciate that. Okay, next
Thank
slide,
you.
please.
All right. First of all, I told Maria, I said, I don't want this to be like a presentation, just me talking. And so this is just part one, and part two will be more conversational. So since I think this is a great opportunity for me to introduce myself, so that, most of the questions will be answered in the slide and in the conversation later. I have three kids. They are 8, 11, and 16 years old, and 2 more years. One of them will be going to college. So I already getting kind of sad and nostalgic. Yes, I was telling them, I was like, I can't believe you guys are growing up so fast. And this is actually my full-time job, to be honest, just keeping me very busy. And I'm also a manager. Well, Meng always say that I'm the boss of the house, which is not true. I'm not a boss. I'm just a manager of our family, and which I'm really proud of my roles because I got to do a lot of stuff for my kids and with my kids, and this is so important during the part of the growing up process. And I enjoyed so much together with Meng raising a young family. And I'm a really traditional, like a typical housewife, and I love to, cook for my kids and love to do laundry myself and, do grocery shopping. If you can see me, or if you happen to see me in the grocery store or in the parking garage, just say hi to me. And so that's also why I get to know so many stuff in the community, right? Things happening about my initiative, childcare, healthcare related, because I've been like in the community because of my role. And I'm actually pretty good handy woman of the house. So a lot of time I just cannot wait, and I will try to fix things here and there. And I don't know. I think it's pretty fun. And as you can see, I attach a picture that I converted this table. It used to be like another color, like really old oak color, and I converted to like white color. And this has been the table that Meng and the kids love to do chess and some kind of activity here. And I cook just as usual. And okay, this picture was taken around 7 years ago when we first moved from Princeton to Indiana. And my kids were so little. As you can see, the little one's only a year and a half. And I just I love that age too. It's a lot of work, but I love it at the same time. And so the next slide, I'm going to tell you about my side jobs. So just as my side job is being a physician and physician advisor for actually 3 hospitals. And because I cannot do a full time, um, well, based on the restrictions. So I just kind of go creative of doing like a here and there a little bit so that I can keep my license. and also keep my skill of inpatient and outpatient skill a little bit, right? And I'm a teacher. I love teaching, particularly with the medical students and residents. And I also love to volunteer when I get a chance, especially volunteer at schools. And I love to surprise my kids that when I volunteer, sometimes they don't know, and they'll be seeing me all of a sudden showing up at their lunchtime. And I also encourage other parents to do so because I mean, kids just love the mom or dad volunteering at school. I have a lot of fun, and I'll continue to do so. So next slide is talking about and the other big part of the side job is being the first lady of the Purdue University. I just run the office, and my key initiatives include childcare, healthcare, alumni engagement, and student engagement, and even community engagement as well. So those are some of the pictures that I had so much fun. One the leftover one is the Purdue Alumni Medical Network. We launched in April, and then just the middle one is the Teachers Appreciation Week football game just happened 10 days ago. And then my team, of course, we have a big team and different roles, and things won't happen without them. And we also had I also share in Naples at the conversation with our alumni. And yeah, I just feel like we are so blessed. We have amazing alumni group, and I truly enjoy having interactions and some of the events together. So next one is some of my hobbies. I'm actually the camera lady of the house. I don't know, maybe most of the moms are, and usually the kids will be like, pictures again, well, Meng will sometimes run away from my camera. I'm just putting iPhone, but he would run away again. So I just have to be like I just have to insist of taking them, and they love it after I take the pictures and different either with people inside the scene or just scenery based. As you can see, I love the fall here. We love the beach, and yeah, without my persistence, there probably won't be those kind of good memories, right? The beautiful pictures. And I also love biking. And so I think some of the alumni told me they saw me biking when we were in the Wayfinder Drive. And yeah, and it is something that really relaxing. And I would listen to the podcast or stories or sermon or some kind of anything or just song. It's really cool. It's perfect weather now. All right, the next slide is going to be, okay, so just some fun facts about me. My favorite color of clothing. I'm not sure if you can guess. And
just a second, Kei.
just one color, right?
Marcy asked, what kind of medicine is your experience in?
Oh yes, I always forget this one. It's internal medicine.
Internal medicine, everyone.
Yes. So basically, it's like a family doctor, but I also do inpatient. So it's a combination.
Thank you. Thank you. Also, so for these fun facts, if everybody just wants to put in the chat, just try to guess what her favorite color is, favorite color of clothing. And then afterwards, she'll tell you, okay, you've got a lot of answers coming through here. Do you see this?
Yeah, I know. I see that some of you, I mean, most of you are very smart. I know that the forbidden one is always, that's the reason I asked, right? And so, yeah, I love that color clothes. And you can show the next slide. Here's a fun picture. And I can only wear that out of town.
Out of town, right?
Yeah, when I was in Florida or somewhere, right? And so I cannot show up here probably. But I just feel like it's so unfair because I was supposed only to have crimson, not every other like red color. Anyway, so I would try to, I love going black, but I just personally don't look that great in going black.
Well, I think in the Philippines, red is a symbol of celebration.
Yes.
And so I think that's why I like red also because of that meaning. So,
and so my cross I'm hiding all my red in one corner and just travel with them.
Unless Christmas is Valentine's. Okay, well, thank you. Okay, the next question.
And the next
Let's see what everybody else is.
Yes, the number of photos on my phone, as I mentioned, I love taking pictures anywhere, everywhere.
So can you guess?
So the number of pictures.
Oh, Alex said 20,000. Oh my goodness. Let's see what people wrote. This will be fun.
Yeah, I am pretty when it comes to picture. Well, because I never get the chance to truly clean up. And
Let's see what
and
we're
so just really cumulative. But I just saw somebody was pretty close, but not even half to that. So yeah, so
okay.
it's not even half of that. You can show the picture.
Yeah. Go ahead and
Um,
prove. Let's see the proof.
let's see, approve the next one,
Let's-
next slide. Oh, yeah, you
I
know that,
know,
right?
Missy. Isn't that
Yes,
crazy?
and
I
now
know,
it's actually
Nina.
even more.
Who
I
has
just checked it.
80,000 pictures?
Yeah, and now it's like actually that was more than like it's 500 more. I just checked my phone.
I
Oh my God, I know. I'm not sure if any one of you can beat me, but I think I got a big memory for that. All
know.
right.
That's a
The
surprise.
next, yeah, that's a prize, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
thousands more than that. Well, next question is about the who's my family? It's like talking about family means all the family member, okay, of the five. Perfect child and the naughty one. Who's the
Let's
perfect one?
see.
Who's the naughty one, right?
Can you
First
guess?
the first, and then the naughty one put in the bottom on the bottom.
Ha! You see the first answer.
I love that.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so that
Let's see
include
who
actually that
wins.
actually include Meng and I, right? So not just the kids. So the answer is actually perfect child is Meng. He got the prize, and the naughty one's me.
I love
And the
that.
kids are somewhere in the middle, and they actually share because it's a combination gene, so we are the extreme.
That's fun.
Yeah, so we got the prize. Meng is always a perfect child that when he so little one, oh my God, you should listen to my in-laws. He is just like everyone wish to have this kid. And I was completely the opposite. Everybody was like, oh, thank God I don't want this kid. I did not have this.
I love
But
that.
so it's
Thank
but so the fourth
That's a fun
question
picture.
is um
The next picture. Oh, the next.
most memorable trips with your my Purdue family. Um so anyone want to guess?
Memorable trips. So first ladies. Aha.
Ah,
Lisa. Okay, Helga. Good.
Judges.
Good,
Yeah.
Emily.
Yeah. I think it's pretty close. We can next slide.
Mhm,
I do a little bit advertisement. The PC trip is always amazing. They go to different
mhm,
fun places, and we went to Banff, Canada. Has so much fun and so beautiful. And I
mhm,
I, I told Meng part of my heart still in Banff for some reason. Just the lake and the sky and the mountains, they're so different. And then the other picture is Maui invitational, and my kid love it. The only thing I don't like is long flight, like 10 hours. That's the
mhm,
only part. Otherwise, it's been a fun one.
mhm.
So I encourage you to join as possible, like John Purdue trip and also PC trip. They're amazing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So
Well,
this year
thank you
I
for
think
that.
we'll be going to Fort Myers with the women's basketball team. Oh, that's
Oh,
the plan for now.
well, that'll be fun.
That'll be fun.
That'll be
All right,
fun.
next one, the
Next
last
slide.
question, or
Last
not
question.
really question. I thought I was the local selfie queen with so many pictures, in my phone is full. Until the next one, until I met these ladies.
Ah,
I think everybody agree, right? I know. I mean, I don't know which one of them are better, but I think all three of them are amazing. And I just can never beat them with the quality and the speed of the selfie. I learned. Right. Yeah. So those are the my slides to show. So hopefully
if I could
everybody.
just say something about that picture, the first time I ever met you was at my Unity event at the
Mhm.
Union. And I was asking, I was like, would you mind if I took a selfie? And when you said, yes, yes. And I was like, oh my gosh, we have the same
Thank you.
vibe. That is so awesome. So I loved it that we could do that right there. And then that was great. So thank you for sharing those pictures and your story with us. So wonderful. Thank you, Kei. Let's go ahead and begin the formal interview here. So can you tell us a little bit about your early life and your upbringing and what values help shape who you are today?
Yeah, it sounds like, well, you got to cut me short, okay? Because I tend to just talking nonstop. I
Okay.
told Maria already. So I was born in a small village opposite to Taiwan, and I moved to Hong Kong with the family when I was 12. And that was beginning of our immigration life, basically. And at that time, we had some family challenges, financial hardship, and like a single parent family. Um, um, the time was tough when we were in Hong Kong. We did not start from like really like good background of, and so my mom had to work a lot of part-time full-time jobs, like 1+2 part-times, and then I was helping out. At the same time, I remember I started working when I was 12, kind of illegally in a
Mm,
factory. And then well, this is something illegal, but it's more like helping out. But then
mhm,
officially I started working when I was 14 in like different restaurants, and just kind of helping out the family. But I also studied hard, and at that time I was blessed enough to go to a really good middle school, high school, and then went to medical school. Yeah, so the value, I would say, just believing in hard work and kindness,
mhm.
and never give up can bring a good future. And at that time, I was blessed enough to know Christianity, many great, amazing teachers and friends. They went to church, and so they taught me there, introduced the religion to me, and so that become my own. And
Mhm.
so that was a really life-changing experience. And from that time, I have hope, I have my faith, and just keep believing, keep working hard. So that's basically my early stage of life before.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you
And
more later.
and what were your aspirations growing up? Did you ever imagine that you would be in such a public role?
No, I mean, I just want to serve. When
Mm,
when I was bigger, and I would love to give back, because during the whole process of those hardship, many people help out, right? Gave us hands,
mhm,
the church, friends, schools. So I just want to serve, and I never imagined myself. We've been in a public role like that. Never. I
mhm,
thought I was going to be just, you know, could be like a doctor, just a
mhm.
doctor. Yeah, so this is
I
really surprising
I
to me.
love how you say just. I mean, that's a huge feat that you did there. So
Just a
it's an
not very regular life, and I can, wear my t-shirt or or everywhere. Just really ordinary life style.
Mhm.
Hmm.
No, but that's great. Thank you. It's very inspiring to hear that story of that story of yours. So can you tell us a little bit about your educational journey? What was it like?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, I I went to church, and I would like to do the medical missionary with the team, like with the church. And so that's why I picked medicine at that time. And I finished my um, medical school in Hong Kong, and then I picked critical care for training, because I would love to take care of the very sick patients, so
Hmm.
that if I go to any kind of trips, medical missionary trips, I can be of help. So that's the main reason I do that. But in 2007, when Meng and I already got married at that time. So we actually dated for 7 years before we got married. But then after we got married, we still were like doing the long distance romantically for a year and a half. And then his vision was, okay, Kay, you need to come over, also because mainly is a political reason.
Hmm.
Just seeing the Communist Party wouldn't keep the promise for a one country, two system for Hong Kong. So he said, well, that's it. You have to come. And as much as he want to have a family, and which I agree. So I came here in 2007, and that started my second time of immigration to another place with different culture. And
Hmm.
this time was not, it's different, because I have to take all the professional exams. I have to do my internship again, but I was blessed enough to be able to find a good residency program at Pennsylvania Hospital. And so I got my medical training there.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, and then I later on became a citizen. And I've been practicing internal medicine since then.
Wow. Remind the audience how many languages you speak, please.
not really languages, but dialects, Chinese,
Yeah.
Taiwanese, right? And Cantonese and Mandarin. Yeah.
But you
So
still have to keep all that in order in your
yes, yes. And I was just telling one of my friends at one of the events that I technically did not really learn English until I was 20 years old, until,
Mm,
admitted to or during the high school years. And so that's something I continuously have to improve.
mhm,
But I was really blessed to be able to
mhm.
go to the great medical training here and achieve
Yes.
my dream.
Yes, and you passed all those exams to be able to practice here too. So that's
Mhm.
that's no easy feat as well. So wow, big kudos to you. Okay, so
Check
someone
your snake
asked,
by the way.
you're
Time
gonna
to
have to
debate.
mute somebody
Oh, is
again.
it a question or?
That's okay.
Yeah.
The next question is, who inspired you to be the person you are today and how?
Okay. This is not well, this is can be a long answer, but I'm going to try to keep it short. I
Okay.
would say the Bible is a great guide for for what I'm doing and who I am, kind of
Mhm,
shaped me to who I am. And I'm still learning. It's so much in the Bible and so much to learn. And I would say the person, probably the first person would be my mom because she's such a hard worker. And she is, no matter under what circumstances, she was very independent and working extremely hard and never give up. And she also has those amazing vision of she believes in education. So
mhm,
basically, both my parents were just they just grade they just I think they're just elementary school level because they were in the village and at that time just not the situation or the environment for them to further their study. But so that's why she, no matter how hard at that time in Hong Kong, um, how much financial challenges, her focus was to get in, earn enough money, salary to put us in school, good schooling. And even if when I was trying to help out, she limited my time of doing the part-time. She said the goal should be to study and make sure my schoolwork is good, so that I can get good grade, go to good college in the
mhm,
future. So she has this amazing vision when she was just growing up in a village, a small village, and did not receive much education herself. And I would also say she, just gave me a lot of opportunities, and being sacrificing her time to help me with, for example, like when I was going through medical school, it was not inexpensive, and so I was able to focus. It's because of her. And then
mm,
later on, after I came here, I was trying to get a master degree in population health. And I actually told Mom, I said, well, it's not because of you, it's because of my mom, because she was staying with us that entire 2 years so that I can go on my computer every night between 9 p.m. to 12 midnight, because that time the kids already went to bed. And so I was able to finish my master degree within 2 years. At the same time, I was working as full-time
mm,
in the hospital and also a part-time physician advisor job. So without her, I wouldn't be able to achieve my goal. Yeah. And also there's so many amazing moms and also ladies, my friends, right? No matter my friends are in the workplace, like Meng's mom is amazing too. She is always an inspiration little lady, because the way that she had her wisdom of how to educate kids, how to inspire the kids, and how to make sure the kids love what they're doing. And she's just a lady full of wisdom. And I'm trying to learn from her too. and
mhm,
and ladies, if you ever listen to um my some of the public speeches of other um other people, you also it doesn't
mm,
need to be somebody who's like giant figure. I always feel it could be somebody next to you or playing their own role. It doesn't need to be a big leader or
mhm,
or public figure. They can inspire you too, and I have so many of them. I say I'm blessed enough to be able to combine all those amazing things that ladies do, different characters. um
mhm.
yeah, so that's I mean, it's not a yeah,
I love
unfortunately, I just don't have a big name for you.
I love that. So we can take there's a lot that we can get just the people in our community, as well as the people that we see that are very large, out of this world type of care, inspiration. So thank you for sharing that. So we talked about who, and now let's talk about, maybe you've got, I imagine you have several moments in your life that helped shape you who you are today, but could you give maybe one example of a moment in your life that made you who you are right now?
Yeah, sure, sure. I have many stories, including when I was, in high school years and big events. But there's one story I would like to share was when I was my second year of residency here. So that was my third year of being in the U.S. And so early career, and I thought I was just, just an immigrant, just a, doctor, a trainee doctor, and who doesn't even know the culture well and patient communication, right? But at that time, my program director, Dr. Policastro at Pennsylvania Hospital, he was the one who offered me pre-match. That means without going through the regular matching pathway during the residency program, I was pre-matched like a few months in advance because of my score and my interview. And I was really thankful. And then the second thing he did for me was he asked me if Kei, would you be interested to become the chief medical resident? During my second year of residency, and this was like totally a shock to me. I was like feeling really elevated, but like, why me, right? And I thought I was just somebody who can barely make each day, and I was really highly encouraged. And at that time, I started to gain my confidence. I was thinking, oh, maybe I'm okay. I'm not as bad as I thought. Not a failure. Maybe I learned a lot. Maybe I make a lot of improvement already. And so just that moment was really, really encouraging because my hard work was noticed and recognized. And that meant a lot to me. And so that was just one of the moments. And I have more more stories later on, but I think this is actually the pivotal one.
And it obviously you are more than okay. Look at where you
Well,
are
you didn't
today.
know me when I was my second year, and it was
I know.
totally
You
a
must have
different story.
you must have seen that star within you, right? And that big heart of yours.
But I was just working really hard. I just keep
Mm,
focusing on what I should be doing, like patient
right.
care. So I usually the first one show up, and then no matter whether it's a snowstorm or something like that, I just make sure that I have a good work ethic,
Right.
a team player. Just do something like it's a basic requirement, and be consistent, persistent. And I think people see it, and sometimes they may not just tell you immediately, but this
Absolutely.
action by him is telling everything.
Absolutely. Thank you. And how did you, so we're going to just pivot just a little bit, but still talk a little bit about leadership, is how do you approach situations when you find yourself the only woman seated at the table?
Okay, so this is
I know we're going to break this down.
right.
Okay.
I know. The thing is that for me, the challenge is not just the only woman, right? It's more of like my look or the first impression on me. I get easily typecast
Typecasted.
as like not professional. So probably because I'm short, I'm only 5'1", and um and I'm a female, and not the traditional like a physician image, right? I need to be somebody who's tall, who maybe is male, or even like Caucasian, right? And so that was a traditional image, and I agree that some people still have this kind of mindset. It could be frustrating. This is not just one of the case scenario. I got patient refused to be seen by me. I did. And the stories even complain about, me seeing them. And it was really frustrating, but it's exactly because of that, I would like to prove that I can do it. So the only way I can do is to work even harder. There are some objective or some factors that I cannot change, but I can change something. I work extra hard on something is changeable. right? Or can be alter those factors. And so I think as time goes by, I think I did it. And there was one story I was telling Maria before about on the flight, right? So usually when taking a long distance flight, I got called for or any medical or any doctors on the plane. Can somebody, can you step up to help out? So I was the only one. I was like, okay, I want to take a nap. But okay, my kids were like, mommy should go. We're okay. So I went there and I was asked to show my medical license. And so back in my mind, I was like, that's kind of funny because like, why would somebody fake to be a doctor, right? To provide advice or treatment on the plane and provided I was technically the only one. Well, I was called multiple times before on different planes, but I think this is the only time that I was asked to show the medical license, and thankfully I have that on my iPhone. So that's why I'm keeping so many pictures. It's helpful. And so that's one story which is really elevating. And we were one morning I was rounding with well, actually the previous team was in earlier and I was attending, right? And so the previous team, and there was a patient. He wasn't a happy patient. He's like kind of difficult patient. And so the team wasn't that happy when they came out. And then I walk in, I saw him the day before already, so he knew me. And all of a sudden, so I talked to him, and then all of a sudden he was holding my hand, like he grabbed my hand. He said, I know you have to work extra hard to get where you are now. Like that moment, I was like, even when I talk about it now, I still have some tears in my eyes because he sees it and he understands. And I'm sure a lot of people are thinking the same way, right? But they may not say it, but they appreciate it. And so at that moment, I was like, yes, my hard work is noticed again, and I just have to keep what I'm doing. And don't always stereotype or typecast yourself as like, okay, you're the only woman, or you're not tall enough, or you're not even a native speaker, and so you can do that. Like, so I just have to remind myself that just don't limit yourself, that don't limit my what I'm going to do. And a lot of, like I mentioned, I can change the changeable factors. And so that's one of the stories, and I have many others, but yeah.
Thank you. So Deb, I think she answered, maybe helped you answer your question a bit there, is just keep working through it. So it's not an easy task. And a lot of us do face this more often than we should, but okay.
Yeah, I do feel that we also have to earn our voice too, right?
Yes.
Not just working hard, but be courageous. Sometimes we stand up and we earn our voice. And I cannot tell you how many times, especially working in the hospital, it's not an easy place
Sure.
to.
Sure.
And I tried many times and it worked. I mean, eventually, it just just keep working through it.
Hard work pays off. Okay, we'll pivot to the next part, is a work-life balance. So you are the first family of Purdue with young children. We're going to have to just move it down. What advice would you give to women who are managing multiple roles, especially those in leadership positions?
So, I would always say that just know your role or your passion. Like we have to be very careful about it's all coming down to a prioritization. Because there's so many things we want to do, right? And as Maria, you know me, I have so many things I want to do. And to be honest, I just share here, I'm not that happy with my my status as like a part-time physician. I always want to be a full-time. I always want to do more. But I know that there got to be time that I need to put a small break slow down the break, because I know the kids cannot wait, right? Kids, there's certain things cannot wait, but my career can wait. And having said that, I have to constantly ask myself, what role do I want to be? Like, what can make me happy? What do I feel content? What do I feel that to justify what I'm doing? Like, without doing my original plan, right? So it's basically a detour from what I originally planned for what I want to be. And it's very interesting because I somehow found that the career aspiration and dream can change, or I would say it grows. I mean, they grow with us. As time goes by, you find some new passion, right? Some new goal, new dreams, and it's really dynamic. This is the interesting part of life, and just don't always let the box limit your aspiration and your dream, and keep your dreams alive, even if there's a detour, and look for opportunities. Just keep looking for opportunities. And because all those opportunities may come in other forms, it may not be the form or the way that you think originally is. Like, look at me, I feel like I can do a lot of things. May not be directly patient care, but I can do something about preventive care, right? To make the population healthier. And which is great, which is why I did my master degree in population health. And at that time, I didn't know what exactly I was doing it, but now I kind of like, yes, that's why. And also with the gratitude of being thankful, like being gratifying every day, whatever we can do, as long as we're healthy, we can do it. And this is a gift already. And I would talk about how people see you and how we see ourselves later too.
Thank you. Thank you for
I saw
that.
some
And
questions. I'm sorry.
one person, there's a lot of comments. I will definitely share the chat with you, but one person, I like what she said. Don't be so hard on yourself. You are an
Thank you.
amazing person in every way possible. Okay, so support systems. What advice would you give to couples who are both pursuing ambitious careers on how to nurture their marriage?
So I would say, Meng and I were together for 26 years coming up, and it's going to be 26 years anniversary, and kids are always our priority. But before kids, we're like kind of independent. Okay, he does his own stuff, I do. But after kids, there's a lot of dynamic stuff happening in the family, and knowing that nobody's perfect, but I feel like the complementary role of a couple is very important. Knowing each other's strengths and complement each other, right? And I feel like we're a good team. We kind of have the synergistic effect, like kind of chemical effect, that we can be synergistic for some reason. And a lot of time I can see at the workplace, sometimes the couples can become competitors, which is, it could be good, but it could be unhealthy, right? And so just be very, very careful, especially when talking about like who go first, and why I have to step down, why I have to slow down, right? And always I would say give a lot of credit to the partner who have to put a break on their career to support you, and just appreciate, acknowledge, because if I would be begging Meng to say, hey, can you recognize me? And it sounds like I'm whining all the time, right? But if your partner understands, and he will give you credit, because he himself or she cannot do everything on their own, right? It takes a whole village to raise a family or to have a career at that stage. And so that's always holds true for
Yeah.
us.
But it's interesting how you said how children will make you have to pivot, and because that's where your focus is and that's where your prioritization changes. I think you have a slide on that as a support. Steph, would you share that slide? I think there was a quote on that.
So this line was sent by Maria. The difficult time. I would like to, some the support system can be your family, right? Can be your friends, can be your colleagues, and this was really special because this past summer we went to family trip, and there were some health challenges, and I was like really sleep deprived. I had to cancel a lot of events, activities, and just kind of hiding to make sure my older daughter's okay. And Maria knew it. It was like she sent me this one. And I was like, yes, the strength of a mother is second to none, right? Even when in times of stress, when she's fighting her own demons, when she's beyond exhausted, both mentally and physically, nothing will stop her from finding strength she needs to do for her children, what she needs to get done. I mean, this is like this was 100%. I echo 100% at that time, and so I just want to share. I mean, supportive system doesn't need to be okay, cook, you same food or same gift or something like that. It could be a simple message, a simple hug, right? And so this is what we ladies, we need that too, or just hey, have a tea or something if you have time. If you don't no time, just send your text. So thank you for that, and that was really that meant a lot to me.
Oh, it means a lot that you included it here. Thank you. Okay, we'll go to the
It's a
last.
surprise to her, actually. She did not know that until just almost
That's a
7
question.
p.m.
Thank you. Okay, the last question for this, just to get to know about you before we talk about Pam and the One Health, because we only have about 8 minutes left here, is what do you want to be remembered for?
So I want to be remembered, not really, I mean, as a leader or of any kind, because I'm not a good one, but I'm a pretty good connector, I would say. I like to connect, like build like bridges, connect at different organizations or different groups. And because I always believe in synergistic effects. If we collaborate, we can do more. We can have amplified effects. And I would like to support what people are doing, and that would be more of my personal role.
Okay, thank you. I think we'll likely remember that, Kei. Okay, let's go back to Pam. Tell us all about it.
Yeah.
Purpose. Do you want to go to your screen, Steph? Yeah.
Yeah, Pam, everybody knows it's a Purdue Alumni Medical Network, and so at the beginning, well, interestingly, Meng has been here for 7 years, right? The first 5 years we live in Carmel, so I wasn't aware of what's going on in Purdue, basically, because of commute. And when I first arrived here 2 years ago, I was like, wow. I started to tour some of the healthcare or health related entities, facilities on our campus. And I was blown away by how much we have on our campus. And we even look at this, like there's so many items, right? And the only thing we're missing is truly a medical school and a hospital of our own. But we have almost like everything here, and or even have the IU School of Medicine part, the local campus inside our campus. And so that's interesting. That inspired me to say, hey, what if we do something for at the alumni level, because we have so many alumni graduated and they just go everywhere, and wouldn't it be nice to come together, and at the same time our community also has a need of more of the with the what's it called, like a healthcare system can catch up with the demand of the local population expansion. And so that's what our need is. And I would like to kind of advocate our Purdue University healthcare entities, what we can offer, and also to collaborate with the local hospitals about on the research, and even to build a student observership and internship, because we do have a lot of students who are interested in the being a physician or being in the medical path, right, or dentist. And but it's been kind of hard to do the attachment or observership because we just don't have our own human hospital or medical school. And so based on the multiple reasons, and we, somebody brought Maria to have a meeting with me. And so we brainstormed last year, and within a few months, we put everything together. And thanks to Maria and the team, Stephanie, and also Julian. And so we launched the Purdue Alumni Medical Network, and we have amazing alumni sign up to be the committee member, the leading committee, interim committee. We also have more than 1,000 people join, right? And more than 600 people express their interest to volunteer. And I think the main goal is to establish mentorship for our students, right, who want to be in the same health professional field, and also philanthropy. We want to establish some scholarship as well, and community engagement. And so I think it's fantastic, wonderful that we have at this scale. I think is it one of the biggest alumni network.
It is one of the biggest, that's for sure. That is definitely for sure.
Thank
So,
you. Yeah, it's all hard work by your team.
and you do have a number of people from your committee on the call tonight. So
Thank you. Yeah,
it's
thank you so much.
so thank you. If you are part of the committee, go ahead and put it in the chat. Yes, I'm here supporting. So, and I was going to have Emily talk a little bit about it, but due to time, you already mentioned it, Kay, what the purpose and what we do. If you want to get involved with the Purdue Alumni Medical Network, just email us, and we'll be happy to put you in touch of who you need to get that to volunteer to be part of our network. Next is the One Health Alumni Reunion that's coming up November 14th through 16th. Stephanie, could you share that screen so everybody can see how they can get involved? Kay, would you like to talk a little bit about the One Health Alumni Reunion?
So this One Health is I'm so happy that it's at the university level. So remember we were talking about our community and I were talking about holding a symposium in fall. So it's something similar to this, and with the community engagement, right? And so Meng is very interested. I mean, Meng's always supportive of what help the our university grow, and his idea was to put it as One Health, which is we also partner with WebMed and also agriculture, because it's very closely related to human health, right? And so we have picked the day, and there's a football game as well that weekend, and we are also going to have some topics, really interesting, attractive topics. I can tell you, I was looking at the schedule, I was like, okay, nutrition and weight loss, perfect. Will be by Professor Lily Richards. Yeah, it's going to be fun. And AI and healthcare, right? It's all by Dean Barker. It's going to be so good. And food as medicine, Laura Kopp, and all those are not just for medical profession, but like even if as a layman, somebody in the community, they'll be interested in those topics. And so we would love to see you joining us during that weekend. It's going to be fun. Save the dates. And you know, we are going to have this would be the like continuous medical education, right?
Yes.
That you can claim your score or your points. You can connect with the alumni, your friends, right? Meet new friends, and you can enjoy the football game as well. So one stone, many birds.
So I do want to underline that so this One Health is supporting human, animal, plant, and environmental health. So that's why we'll have topics that are going to be presented in all those different areas. So we'll kick it off on the Thursday night with a reception. Friday is all courses and some talks from our president as well as our first lady. And then we'll have a reception the evening that will involve the faculty, the students, and then the Purdue Alumni Medical Network is going to hold the last reception, in which everybody is welcome to attend. And Kay's going to give a few words there. And then the Saturday after is a tailgate, followed by obviously the football game. I can't remember who's playing, but I think it's Penn State. So, so yes, if you can, the website will go live in a few days. So watch out for that. So it's One Health Alumni Reunion. If you just Google that for Purdue, it should link you to the page in a couple days from now, and you'll find out more information about that there. So we are almost on time here. Great. Thank you so much for joining us for our first Cocktails and Conversation for this fiscal year. We really, really appreciate you being here this evening.